Well, hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here for another edition of Pat's on Periscope for our show tonight, which is July 20th, 2015. I'm going to adjust this back a little bit and slide right here. And we're all set to go for another edition of Pat's on Periscope for a Monday night. And for the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to say hi to a lot of folks and talk a little bit about tech. We're going to talk a little bit about social, and we're going to talk a little bit about hoaxes. And we don't want to have any hoaxes on us this week because those are really getting old. I know several people lately who've just been having their profiles duplicated, and we'll get into that here in just a second. What I'm on the search for right now is a tripod that will hold my phone so I don't have all this headroom here without having to sit on a pile of phone books to make it look right. Or I don't have to be looking down on the Periscope. I just want to be able to be eye level with you. I may have to sit on some phone books or something like that. Anyway, our Periscope schedule is going to change, not really from the time it's going to be aired live, but the time it's going to be replayed. So what we have is we do this live at 8 o'clock on Monday nights, and then what we do is it stays in the queue for 24 hours, and then what I do is I pull the video from my phone and put it onto YouTube, and then that will be aired starting at 7:30 in the morning on Wednesday. So not only will you see this live tonight, Mondays, but you will see this on a replay on Wednesday morning starting at 7:30. So just a heads up for that. I had my friend the Design Queen from Manly, Iowa, designed a template. So I fit my vertical video that I hate vertical videos, but it makes it work with Periscope because everybody holds their phone like this when they're doing these, when they're watching these, especially. If you did turn it landscape, then it looks weird because then you can't read any of the comments along the bottom and you can't see the hearts are going everywhere. Anyway, it is a mess. So anyway, I've given into that vertical video format. But for Facebook, or rather for YouTube, I have it in a template. And you'll see that if you go to my YouTube page. Yanks Pat is the name of the YouTube page. Anyway, I'm going to tip this down a little bit. There we go. So anyway, what we have today is what we want to talk about is tech. What I've really been stumbling with lately is a couple of machines this week especially have really had problems with antiviruses. And it's not the viruses themselves that are hanging things up, it's the antivirus that is really hanging things up. What has happened is this week alone I've had Norton antivirus, or their 360 or whatever they've got, a WebRoot and a Trend Micro. And what has happened is either they've done updates or they've caught a virus or they've done something with a Windows update where the program itself, the actual antivirus program itself has become corrupted. When it becomes corrupted, sometimes it just won't let the computer boot up, and that is a bad deal because I've had them just go to black screens with just the arrow in the middle, and you move the arrow everywhere. You can hit Alt Control Delete. You can't do a whole lot. You do have to do some other little working around to uninstall the virus, but that's pretty much what the magic is. After the antivirus program is uninstalled, boom, things seem to work. Clean that up, and then do a complete clean. Like you can get a removal tool from that website. Like Norton has a removal tool for their own products. WebRoot does. It doesn't work very well, and so does Trend Micro. Those are the three that I've had problems with this week. I've also had problems in the past with AVG, and of course we had a Panda fiasco here a while back as well too. But if you do uninstall the antivirus, make sure you uninstall it, reboot, make sure there are no traces of it left before you reinstall it. The worst thing you can do is install an antivirus on top of an antivirus, then everything just breaks loose. So don't do that. Your computer's going to run a little bit better without the antivirus. Boot that a couple times, make sure it's working right, and then reinstall your antivirus. Before you uninstall, make sure you have all the codes or the licensing or things like that. You should be able to email the company or put in your email address and password that you set up with those antivirus companies to make sure that you get your stuff back. So that's a little bit about the antivirus situation, but lately I've just seen so many bad things from those high dollar ones that sometimes it just makes more sense maybe to go with the free ones. So that's up to you. It's whatever you decide. For free, I choose the Avast free one from Avast. That's the one I use. So your mileage may vary. Next up, we're talking about social media today. And in a lot of things, I've been pretty blessed as far as meeting people, meeting famous people. I worked in radio for about 17 years. I was had different roles in the politics of my local county. That enabled me to meet various people when they came to town, campaigning for president or for other office. I've just had so many opportunities that way. I wish back when I was in high school or even college or later, I would have had the benefits of Twitter or social media. I think things could have gone a lot farther or a lot faster for me back then. For example, this Sunday, through social media, because of social media, I'm taking my 10-year-old nephew to the Minnesota Twins game, and he is going to be the junior announcer for the bottom of the fifth. So if you happen to be at the Twins-Yankees game this Sunday, the 26th, and you hear a little boy's voice, 10-year-old's voice over the loudspeaker at the bottom of the fifth inning introducing the Minnesota Twins, that's Luke. And I did that via social media. And I know people who really get greedy on social media, and they do everything and every free thing they can ever get, they get. And I don't abuse that. I know I could get a lot more free stuff, I'm sure, but I just don't abuse that. I sometimes let other people have their chance. There's lots of contests I could have entered, and I didn't. I remember one time I won a contest from a local business here in town from the Orange Possum, and since I don't wear 14-year-old girls' clothes, I gave the gift certificate for $50 to somebody else. That gal is doing modeling nationwide now. I think she's in California, and local folks around here know who she is. But anyway, that's kind of how that started, I guess. She did a local modeling thing for the Orange Possum, and she liked that, and she went on, and now she's doing Miss Teen USA competitions and all sorts of things. So I'm really, really proud of that young lady here from Hampton. But that's just the power of social media. I know coming up on October 24th in Mason City, Iowa, it's a Saturday, we're going to be having a social media conference, a Midwest Social Media Conference, and I've probably got the name on that wrong. But anyway, it's going to be a stepping stone and kind of a launch pad for a few things with social media. And it's going to be held in Mason City on the Nyack campus. You're going to want to make sure you attend that. $50 is the early bird registration on that. I think it's going to be very, very valuable for people and their businesses who are starting in social media or want to take it to a little bit of an advanced level. Sometime, one of these days, I'm going to get enough gumption up to teach more of the YouTube type of stuff and maybe an advanced course on some of that. Getting your YouTube channel set up the way you want it, having different subsets in your YouTube channel and things like that. I've got to work on my own house a little bit more before I get that ready to go. But anyway, the Twins game this Sunday in Minneapolis at the it's not the Metrodome, but it's Target Field they call it. That's because of social media. So I've been very, very lucky in that. Again, what we're doing today is talking tech, we're talking social, and we're talking hoaxes. And just was checking in with my friends at hoaxslayer.com. That's hoax-slayer.com. And they had this week's top 5 Facebook scams to watch for. And I know that a couple of my friends have bitten into these. That's why they get their Facebook pages hoaxed up. And then you start seeing these other friend requests comes in. The fake Tiffany & Company Facebook page promotion urges people to click, share, like, whatever, and they're not going to get anything from Tiffany & Company, the real Tiffany & Company, I should say. I've seen this week, the sick baby scam, the baby that's got a big scar on its face, and it says, well, if you give one like, that means one prayer, and if you share it, then sometimes they claim that Facebook is going to give $5 to a Shriners Hospital for the baby, and those things just aren't true, and it's really a cruel joke for some parents out there that if they do have a child that is sick and they see that, and then they contact Facebook. Will you do that for my child? And Facebook has to tell them that's a hoax. What a cruel joke that is for parents like that who do have kids with disabilities. It's very, very sad deal. Number 3, that Facebook 200 iPhones giveaway package is a scam this week. Of course, page on Facebook says you could win one of 200 iPhones by liking, sharing, and commenting. Of course, that's really not the right way to run a Facebook contest. Liking, commenting, and sharing. People should use WooBox, or people should use Rafflecopter if they want to do a promo the right way. This liking, sharing, commenting stuff, that's Bush League. That's not even putting any thought into it, because if somebody doesn't like your page or you've blocked somebody, how do they really enter? I'd like to see a grid or something with these radio stations giving away all the tickets to, let's say, Tree Town Festival, for example. If all the shares and the likes and the comments, there's no way that they are keeping track accurately of those events and of the likes and shares and comments. So what they ought to do is just do the WooBox thing or do the Rafflecopter thing. It turn out more professional. Of course, several of my friends have been into the "this is your last warning. This is your last warning. Your Facebook account will be disabled unless you click this and then put in your username and password." And that, my friends, is where a lot of these Facebook dual profiles are showing up, the hoax ones, where they copy all your stuff and then they solicit your friends for money. My car broke down, I don't have any money, I need $500. And that happened to me one time. A friend of mine from North Carolina, I'd just been over to his folks' house. We talked a little bit about Tracy and what he was up to, and it didn't sound like from his folks that he had any plans to travel to England in the next day or two. And the next day I got an email, frantic chat message from Tracy saying, "I'm stuck in England, I got mugged, I need money to come home." And I said, "I was just at your folks' house yesterday and they didn't say anything about you going to England. What's their phone number? I'll give them a call." Boom, he was gone. So it's one of those deals where just another hoax. You just can't bite into those things. And of course, Facebook surveys are big. There's one you could win a Range Rover, and of course that's a hoax too. So we just don't want people to get snagged into these hoaxes and taken advantage of, especially, like I said, that one before where you've got a baby that's been burned, or a birth defect, or some malady with a child, and parents are possibly putting hopes into maybe thinking Facebook is going to give them $5 per like or something like this, and it just doesn't work out that way. It's just a hoax, and everybody's just going to be let down, and it's just going to be a sad day. So, hey, if you're in the area this Wednesday, we're going to have another social media breakfast in Mason City, 8:30 in the morning at First Citizens National Bank on the west side in Mason City. Chad is going. I just see that. Our friends from Butcher's Steakhouse will be sponsoring the event, and our friends from Hy-Vee will be having the breakfast for us. So what a neat deal. I'll be on the docket as far as the program, and we're going to talk about hoaxes. Hey, we're going to talk about tech, and we're going to talk about social. So that's pretty much what we're doing here, but just a little bit more in depth. We're going to have a slideshow, click, 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 and we're going to be talking about being on what network, like a public network, private network, what passwords you should use, what passwords you should get from the person who has the network, the guest side, the other side, things like that. So what we're going to talk about is just some basic safety while you're on the internet and using somebody else's internet. Again, the Periscope schedule, of course, we're live tonight. We start at 8 o'clock with Pat's on Periscope. We do that every Monday night. This goes for 24 hours, and then starting Wednesday morning at 7:30, I will have the upload to YouTube of this very broadcast with my fancy YouTube template. And you can contact me at my Twitter address, and my website, and some other stuff on there too. So don't forget to follow me on Facebook at Pat the Computer Guy, or www.thecomputerguy.bz. That's my website address. And always ask me a question or something that you want to be focused on Pat's on Periscope. That's just about going to do it for today. Again, under tech, we want to make sure that we do uninstall any antivirus program that we before we install a new one, we uninstall the old one. If you are having slowdowns on your computer where it's really slow, look for the antivirus to be causing that problem. Uninstall it, reinstall it, see if that doesn't help you out. So that could be part of your problem too. Again, we talked about social media and the connections we make there, and I just don't like to abuse those, but there are that do. And but anyway, the big one I'm proud of is this Sunday, where my nephew is going to be the junior broadcaster over the whole stadium's PA system for the Minnesota Twins, and that should be cool. So again, don't fall for some hoaxes. They're out there, and I don't want to have to help people clean up their stuff by saying, Jan's already put a fake friend request out there. Don't friend Jan. And I hate, because everybody likes Jan. But anyway, those are the things you have to watch out for with those silly, silly hoaxes. Anyway, that is what is going on in our world today with Pat's on Periscope. We will see you next Monday night at 8 o'clock for another edition of Pat's on Periscope. We'll see you then.